What's up everyone, John here, and today I'm going to be starting a new series on my YouTube channel called my App of the Week, which will feature apps from the iPhone, the iPad, or from the Mac App Store for your Mac. And today's App of the Week is Color Splash Studio, so let's go ahead and get started. So what Color Splash Studio is a photo editing software that lets you use color splash photography, which means you import a photo, it's in grayscale, so everything's gray, and then you color in the sections that you want back to the original color of the photo so they stand out more. And what I first want to do is give you a quick overview of the interface here. So up at the top we have some buttons here that let you import or load a photo, and then you can save your photo once you're done editing it. Or you can share it via email, Twitter, Facebook, or Flickr, and you can undo and redo edits. You can zoom in, zoom out of your photo so you can get that fine detail in there, and you can fit the photo to the screen, or you can fit it to the actual size of the photo. And then you can also, when you're editing throughout, you can compare it to the original photo, so you can compare your edited photo to your original one there. Then on the right is where you're going to do most of your options for your brush and your coloring here. So at the top you have this clear button, which will clear out all your edits. Next to that you have the invert button, which will invert what you have colored will turn gray, and what you have gray will turn colored. So you have that. And then below that you have the color option. Next to that is the grayscale option, where you can color in stuff gray. Next to that you have the pan option, and then you have the show option of what's colored in. You click the show option, it will show you what is colored on your photograph. Below that are your options for your brush, which include the diameter of the brush, the softness, and the opacity of the brush. And below that you have your color layer and your grayscale layer, so you can change the brightness, the contrast, the blur, the saturation, the hue, and the exposure of all these on those different layers. And you can also reset those with that button right below there. So what I'm going to do is quickly show you how you can actually color in a photo. I'm not going to do the whole thing because this does take some time if you have a photo with lots of detail. So what we're going to do is I'll go up here and I'll make my brush diameter a little bigger, and then on this car I'll color this in. As you can see, the original color here is blue, nice bright blue. So that's how you do that. And then I'll go up here and you can click the show button, and you can see that it turned out in red what was colored in and color, and you can actually go back and still color in, and it'll cover it in red here. So, but let's go ahead and turn that off. You can see the blue on the car there, and we'll go ahead and I'll show you the invert button here, and this will invert. So everything that was colored is now gray, and everything that was gray is now colored. So now I want to show you a photo that was already done in detail a little bit more, and show you some of those brightness and contrast options under the color layer and the grayscale layer. So here I have a photo of that same car that I already went through and edited beforehand, but we can go through and play with some of these settings right now. Now you have both the color layer and the grayscale layer that you can edit with these settings. So we'll first play with the color layer here, and the brightness, so you can just switch back and forth. You know, you might want to get that good brightness effect here and get some dark shadows in there. And you can brighten it up like that, which doesn't really, you know, on this photo doesn't really work good. But then you got the contrast here you can do, which adds some nice, that right there kind of adds a nice little effect for this photo here. And then you have the let's go ahead and switch this back. You have the blur effect, which you might want to use on your coloring, but kind of want to use in your grayscale a little more. But we'll lower that down. And then you have your saturation here. You can add, make it a more dull green looking on this, or you can make it really stand out by turning the saturation way up. And then this next one, the hue, is how I actually made this green, because the original color of this car is a bright blue, and this hue setting here will let you change the color that shows there. And see if I get back to right in there, maybe right, yeah, you can't get it back to the original really, but this is how I turned this one green. And then you have your exposure. If you want to brighten the whole thing up or not, you have that there. But you can also go to the grayscale here and turn the brightness on the grayscale up or down. Also have the contrast here, which is not going to really affect grayscale too much, but this is where the blur, I think, would come in handy here on the grayscale. You can use that to blur the stuff around the car here. And this amount section, I'm not sure exactly what that does. I haven't seen it, but these settings, really help you create an effect on a picture that makes it really stand out a lot and such. So this kind of makes it look like cool and whatnot and stand out in your photos. So if you have any comments or questions about this app, leave those down below. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, as it always helps me out, helps me produce more content and such. So you can also hit that subscribe button up at the top so you can be notified of all my new videos, and watch out next week for a new app of the week, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.